Let's practice the qualifiers that have ing and ed endings. We will call them the ing and ed qualifiers. On the one hand, we use the ing qualifiers to describe the characteristic of people or things, and on the other hand, the ed qualifiers are used to describe our feelings. The movie was boring. I felt very bored. Affirmative construction. My job is interesting. My job is very interesting. I am interested in my job. Remember, the qualifiers that use either the ed or the ing ending act in two different ways in a construction. 1. Qualifiers ending in ing describe the effect that something or someone has on you. My grandmother is an amazing woman. It wasn't a disappointing movie. 2. The qualifiers in a construction which have ed ending describe people's feelings. They are neglected employees. Who has been the most excited boy? Here is a list of common ed, ing qualifiers in English: amazing, amazed; annoying, annoyed; astonishing, astonished; boring, bored; confusing, confused; disappointing, disappointed; embarrassing, embarrassed; exciting, excited; frightening, frightened; interesting, interested; shocking, shocked; surprising, surprised; threatening, threatened; tiring, tired; distracting, distracted. Continue practicing the ed and ing qualifiers in different constructions. Affirmative construction. Accidents caused by careless driving might be pretty shocking. Sometimes people feel annoyed by some drivers' habit of tailgating. Negative construction. Getting traffic tickets is not exciting for anyone. Teens are not interested in using hand-free devices to talk while driving. Interrogative construction. Simple question. Do traffic cops think that driving over the speed limit is exciting? No, driving over the speed limit is not exciting for them. Interrogative construction. Expansion question. Then, what do traffic cops think about driving over the speed limit? They think it is a very threatening moving violation since it can cause fatal crashes. Interrogative construction. General question. What do you think the most common reason for car crashes on the road is? It is interesting to know that the most common reason for car crashes on the road is because of distracted drivers. Some people think of it as a laughing matter. Some others do not give it the importance that it merits, while at the same time getting to break the law and proceeding to even verbally and physically abusing traffic cops for doing their job. We are talking about driving consciousness and the steps that turn people into good drivers, which can be found in driving manuals all over the world. Teenagers are the biggest culprits in careless driving, and the following are the 6 traffic risk factors that teens are hardly aware of. 1. Number 1. Inattention. The most common contributing factor in multiple vehicle crashes. 2. Number 2. Excessive speed. Illegal unsafe speed is the most contributing factor in single vehicle crashes for drivers. Teens particularly have difficulty adjusting their speed to driving conditions. 3. Number 3. Failure to wear a safety belt. Properly wearing a seat belt reduces the risk of fatal injury to front seat passenger occupants by 45% in a car and 60% in a light truck. 4. Number 4. Fatigue. A person who has been awake for 24 hours experiences impairment nearly equal to a blood alcohol concentration of 0.10%, and teens often don't get enough sleep. 5. Number 5. Not checking traffic before pulling out. Most crashes involving teens occur at intersections because of their inexperience judging distance and speed. 6. Number 6. Driving with other teens. The presence of passengers strongly increases crash risk. For teen drivers, the more passengers, the greater the risk. The fact that teens are more apt to commit most of the moving violations mentioned above does not necessarily turn them into frightening road killers. But it should make people aware and interested in the fact that, with the proper training, follow-up and direction, everyone, including teenagers, can turn out to be good responsible drivers. New words and elements. Listen to the words and their respective definitions in order to know their meaning. Then listen to the words again and repeat them. Objects. The traffic cop. A police officer who directs the flow of traffic and stops drivers who break the law. The traffic cop. The consciousness. The state or condition of being conscious. The consciousness. The teenagers, teens. People between the ages of 13 and 19. The teenagers, teens. The culprit. A person who is guilty of a fault or crime. The culprit. The risk. Something bad that might happen. The risk. The speed. Rapidity in moving. The speed. The safety belt. A belt or strap in an automobile, airplane, etc. That keeps the person safely secured as during a sudden stop. The safety belt. The injury. Damage or harm that a person or thing suffers. The injury. The step. One of a series of actions, processes or measures taken to achieve a goal. The step. The crash. An accident usually involving one or more vehicles. The crash. The impairment. Damage that results in a reduction of strength or quality. The impairment. The training. The process of learning the skills you need to do a particular job or activity. The training. The follow-up. An action or thing that serves to increase the effectiveness of a process. The follow-up. Qualifiers. Equal. Like or alike in quantity, degree, value, etc. Equal. Aware. Knowing that something exists or having knowledge or experience of a particular thing. Aware. Contributing. Being partly responsible for something. Contributing. Unsafe. Not safe involving risk or danger. Unsafe. Apt. Appropriate. Apt. Moving. Related to driving. Moving. Action qualifiers. Hardly. Not at all, scarcely. Hardly. Particularly. Specifically referring to something in special. Particularly. Properly. Adequately. Properly. Action words. To adjust. To change so as to match or fit. To adjust. To include. To take in as a part of an element or member. To include. To involve. To contain as a part, include. To involve. Driving carelessly can be disappointing. Now practice the ing and ed qualifiers with the following conversation. What took you so long to arrive? Sorry, I couldn't help it. There was an astonishing crash on the freeway and traffic was bumper to bumper. Oh yeah, I got surprised by the news on the radio. I heard that there was a shocking accident involving a truck. That's right. So traffic was awful. Besides, there was this old woman ahead of me driving so slowly. She just made me annoyed. That basically made me run late. I know how boring that could be, but why didn't you take a different route? That was exactly what I tried to do. Nevertheless, a traffic cop made me pull over for an alleged infraction. I was totally surprised. I can't believe it. I'm tired of telling you to fasten your safety belt when driving. That is absolutely disappointing. Well, I was actually wearing it, yet I almost got a ticket. Now I'm confused. If you were wearing the safety belt and driving safe, then, why did you almost get a ticket? I was suddenly pulled over after making a right turn which was supposed to be illegal just to avoid the annoying traffic. Then the cop asked me if I hadn't seen the no turn on red sign and then asked for my documents. To top it off, I had my registration and insurance at home. I would have felt embarrassed if I had been in your shoes. Now, how is that you didn't get a ticket for such a violation? That is the amazing part. They let me off the hook on account that my grandmother was sitting in the backseat. Thanks, Granny. That's an interesting way of dodging a ticket after rolling on a red light. But I recommend driving safely and carrying your documents the next time for the sake of your driving record.